Hello and welcome to Dear Franny, the podcast of uncommon conversations about love. I'm your host, Francesca Hogi. Hello, I am coming to you live from my closet in Los Angeles, planet Earth. Where in the world are you? I hope that you're safe and I hope that you are healthy. And I have a really quick episode for you today, but it's an important one. And if you are single, if you are dating, if you are not yet in a relationship, then this episode is for you. If you are in a relationship and you just want to check it out for interest, maybe you can share what I'm going to teach you today with your friends, with your single friends. It's a powerful little tool. So here we go. So today I want to introduce you to an acronym. It's a very simple one, R.A.W. It stands for Ready, Able, Willing. And when you are looking for a serious relationship, then my advice is that you take this acronym to heart, Ready, Able, Willing. So what do I mean by that? So number one, you want to make sure that you are investing your time and energy in people who can articulate that they are ready for a relationship, not with you. This is a place that they have come to in their lives before you came along, and they know that this is something that they are ready for. So if you are, getting to know someone and you ask them like, oh, so, what are you looking for in terms of a relationship? And they're like, whoa, I don't know. Or I'm just waiting to see where things go. Or like, whoa, it's too soon to have this conversation. It's like, that's a very big red flag that person is not ready for a relationship. Because if someone is ready for a relationship, if you ask them, are you ready for a relationship? They can say yes. Doesn't mean they want a relationship with you. Doesn't mean you're asking them if they want a relationship with you. But this is just where they are in their lives. So number one, ready means you can articulate that you are looking for a relationship. And the same goes for you. If you're looking for a relationship, you invest your time and energy in people who can articulate that. But also you want to make sure that you can articulate it. Because a lot of times what happens, especially for straight women who have been conditioned to play it cool and you never want to chase a guy off and, don't freak him out. So, don't let him know you're looking for anything serious. All this trickery, you got to trick a man into committing to you, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you can try that for yourself if you want to and let me know how it goes. It usually does not end very well. Okay. So owning that your desire to be in a relationship, not having any self-consciousness about it, not, making it think that you're not allowing that desire to make you feel like you are thirsty or desperate. You want companionship, you want intimacy, you want sex, you want romance, you want love, you want partnership. Congratulations, you're human. Most people want those things, even if they're not capable of having them. So release any self-consciousness that you have about articulating that you're ready for a relationship and look for the people who can articulate that as well. Now, the thing about this acronym, Ready, Able, and Willing, is that we are looking for all three of these things, okay? So if you meet somebody, they say they're ready for a relationship, great, check, move on. And then we get to able. And this is a big topic because this is about someone having emotional, physical, an ability and a capacity to have another person in their lives, to prioritize having another person in their lives, having enough emotional availability and vulnerability that they can risk some pain. They can risk getting their hearts broken, because to love is to risk pain. Even if your relationship works out perfectly and you're soulmates and you live your entire life happy, one day one of you is going to die and you're going to have to say goodbye. So there is no escaping pain. But some people, they're very, very avoidant. And for them, the idea of opening themselves up to that kind of risk is too great. So I don't judge that in other people. But again, if you're looking for a relationship, you want to make sure that that person is able to actually be the kind of partner that you are looking for, that they are able to prioritize another person, they are able to risk emotional pain. And again, these things are independent of you. So if you, every rom-com has, the typical rom-com is either the protagonist or the love interest has to be really avoidant and really shut down, right? It's totally just avoidant. I don't want love. I don't believe in love or whatever. And then they meet this perfect person. And then once they meet the perfect person, it transforms them. And now they're vulnerable and now they're open and now they're ready to commit and now they're ready to live happily ever after. That is a fantasy. It is a fairy tale. The way that it works in real life is that people who are avoidant don't magically decide because of a person in front of them that they love that now they're going to be open. If anything, that tends to trigger you even more and it makes you shut down even more because now the fear of the inverse of the love that you feel, the fear of that pain is really, really triggering, which is why a lot of people who are very avoidant only date and only have relationships with people who they don't care that much about, or they know that they can live without. They know that if this doesn't work out, I'll be fine. So you really want to make sure that you're looking for someone who has done enough work on themselves, or they're just, naturally, some people just are naturally able to be more vulnerable and able to prioritize another person very easily. So this is a tough one because this isn't about asking a question. Like, you can ask somebody, are you ready for a relationship? You can't just ask someone, are you emotionally available for a relationship? Because, you can't go by their answers to that. You have to observe it, and you yourself have to be available. You yourself have to show up with real authenticity, right? Really showing who you are, really being yourself, because that's how you connect with another person. That's the first step in being vulnerable. And when you do that, then you can see whether they can meet you there or not. So that's really, really important piece of this. And then, so we're looking for ready, check, able, check. You're dating somebody, you're getting to know them, you're showing up with authenticity, vulnerability, seeing if they're able to meet you there or not, seeing if they're able to prioritize another person in their lives or not, etc. And then the last one, willing. This one is about you specifically, or the person that you're dating specifically. So if you are, dating somebody and they are not showing real consistency or enthusiasm for you, for moving the relationship forward, for getting to know you more, for just, moving things along. If they're not doing that, then they are not demonstrating that they are willing to put in the effort to move things forward with you specifically. Now, this can be very confusing because sometimes you might meet someone who's totally willing, they're really into you, but they aren't ready for a relationship. Or you can find somebody who, they're happy to pursue you, but they don't have the emotional availability to actually stick around and have a relationship with you. And you can also meet somebody who's ready. They can articulate that they're ready for a relationship. They're able. They really have, done the work. They've made the space in their lives, and they aren't willing to do that with you specifically. And I know that can be very painful, but that is just part of the process of dating and sorting. So ready, able, and willing, you're looking for all three, and you want to make sure that you are all three if you're going to pursue and move forward with a relationship with someone. So ready and able, again, that's independent of another person, but the willing, okay, I'm ready for a relationship. I'm able to be in a relationship. Now I'm dating this person. Am I willing to put in the effort, to put in the time to move this relationship forward? Does it feel worthwhile? Does it feel exciting? Do I have enthusiasm for this person? Do they align with the vision of the kind of relationship that I want to have? What is the connection like between us? How do I feel when I'm with this person? All of those things are such important questions to ask yourself, because sometimes you might meet someone they're amazing and they might be a lot of what you're looking for, but you're just not feeling it, right? And I want you to not have guilt about that. Now, if you have a pattern where you're never into the people who like you and you're only into the people who don't like you, then we have to talk about your true availability, because that's classic behavior for somebody who has more of a challenge with being vulnerable, is to be attracted to people who are not attracted to you. I say this from personal experience as well as professional experience, because I was there for a very long time in my life. To me, the most attractive man was the one who didn't want me. But then as I grew deeper in my love for myself and my vulnerability, I was no longer attracted to those men. To me, it was like my baseline of attraction now became, is this guy into me? And then I was like, oh, he's into me. And then I could really then look and see, is he all of these other things that I'm looking for? So all of this is to say, ready, able, and willing is a two-way street. You're not asking other people to show up in a way in a relationship that you are not willing to do yourself, that you're not capable of doing, that you are not ready for. That would be selfish. That would be entitled. And that is not a recipe for success. So it always starts with you making sure that you're raw, and then knowing how to spot in other people whether or not they are raw as well, because the more ready, able, willing that you are, especially the more ready and able that you are, the more easily you will spot other people who are and are not ready and able. A lot of the confusion that you might have, will become a lot more clear when you do the work on yourself. Then you can spot it like a mile away, okay? So it might feel really challenging right now, but know that it can and will get easier if you do the work to go deeper into your self-love, deeper into your vulnerability, deeper into prioritizing the kind of relationship that you want to have, knowing what that looks like, knowing how to spot the potential partners who can potentially be that kind of partner to you. And I know that's a lot and that might sound overwhelming, so I don't want to overwhelm you. But I do want to introduce this concept because much of the time when you're dating and you're feeling confused about I don't know where I stand, I don't know what this person wants, I don't know if this is going anywhere, if you apply this ready, able, willing analysis to the situation, it clears up all the confusion really quickly. So a big part of this is learning the ready and able piece. Like, again, those are independent of you. And when you're dating, independent of the people that you're dating, that has to be a place where you are within yourself. So when you meet somebody and they're not able, or they're not ready or able, right? Then don't take it personally. That's not about you. That's about them. That's their journey. So by accepting your own journey and being less judgmental towards yourself, then it's easier for you to be less judgmental towards other people on their journeys. I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope it's clarifying. It's really simple. And I know that for me, for my clients, this has been an incredibly helpful tool. And I hope that it is for you as well. Thank you so much for listening. And I know that last week I promised that this week was going to be an interview. However, we had to reschedule the interview that I had on the books for this week. So you have me today, but you will have me with an interview next week. So stay tuned for that. Stay safe, stay healthy. I appreciate you. Stay in touch with me. I am at Dear Franny on Instagram and Twitter and all the places, at Dear Franny Podcast. And if you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, please do so. I'd be so grateful. I love your 5-star reviews. Thank you guys for those. Please, if you haven't already reviewed the podcast, I love a 5-star review. I'd be really grateful. It really does help. And you can just rate it 5 stars. You don't have to write a written review, but you can do that too if you're moved to. And I really appreciate when people take the time to do that. I don't take it for granted. I do not take you for granted. So wherever you are in the world, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will be back next week with an interview. I promise. Okay, bye.